My name is Peter Santenello, and I make videos around the world. But for the first time, I'm showing my home country, America. In this video series, my Ukrainian wife and I travel through Northern California to places most foreigners and even Americans don't know about. We will show you USA culture through the combination of an outsider's and a local's perspective. Join us on a road trip through a very diverse, often misunderstood, and stunningly beautiful land. It's really cool when you come back to your country after being gone for a long time. We're in this place called Sea Ranch, and they have all these homes. I think a lot of them are for rent, but they have this very cool modern style. So imagine eating at this table and having that view. Oh my God, this must be a fortune. So beautiful, huh? It says, there's a sign there that says baby seals lay out on these rocks here. This place is called the Sea Ranch. It's a massive planned community that spans 10 miles along the Pacific Coast Highway with roughly 1,800 homes. This is modernist architecture way ahead of its time. The first structure was built in 1964. What's different about the Sea Ranch versus any other planned community I've seen is the way the homes blend into the natural landscape. All of the wood is unpainted, there are no foreign species of plants, nobody waters the grass, there are no streetlights to interfere with the starlight. This is by far the coolest housing development I've ever seen. What's that? The eagle or the hawk? This is a very interesting place called Fort Ross. And Fort Ross is a Russian settlement on the California coast. And so the Russians, when they went east, sort of as the Americans were going west. They were expanding territory. They occupied, Alaska was Russian, and they needed wheat, they needed fruit. They needed food for Alaska, so where'd they go? They went down the California coast and set up this settlement. What they also found here were seals and seal pelts that were super valuable for wealthy people in Moscow and the rest of Europe. So they actually killed seals here and brought the pelts back through Alaska, through Russia, into Europe. But it's very cool to be in this part of the country, of the US, and all of a sudden stumble upon Russian influence. And maybe a little bit of a shocker for you,
yeah,
Natalia.
Definitely not, didn't expect it.
Little Slavic world of California. Let's check it out. Here's the settlement well. I've actually dug a well in the countryside of Ukraine. It's a process. Что это?
Ария.
Ария. Это rock. Shovel by shovel.
Метр сегодня. Ну еще.
There's water down there. You want to go to church, babe? I know you love church. There's an Orthodox church for you.
I know you like wells because you dug one, huh?
I've been in there. It's cold. It's cold at the bottom. Dom Pravitelya, which means the ruler's home. Wow, so cool. These were, wouldn't they say, the first glass windows in California? That's what the video said. First glass windows in California. How crazy is that? Quite inspirational. I could imagine a much better winter existence here than in cold Siberia, Alaska, or Moscow. Fortress wall. Massive eucalyptus tree. And these aren't native to California. They're from Australia. Smell these leaves, babe.
Oh, yeah.
Very fragrant, huh?
Eucalypt.
Yeah, they've taken over the California coast. I love them. They're quite spectacular. They get huge. Not like. Dungeness crab.
Dungeness crab. Oh, it's the pizza from here.
First clam chowder experience.
So tasty.
Okay, now we're gonna take a little detour here and check out this place.
Wow, a Russian house.
Russian house number 1. What's going on here?
Oh, it's like a museum, yeah. Or
It's like help your own food. Hello. Здравствуйте.
Блогеры пришли.
Нет. Вкусно кушать?
Да, такой вегетарианский у нас щи. Борщик.
And across the street, Miss Natalia, Ukrainian flag. So cool.
How do you know it's a Ukrainian flag?
Because we live in Ukraine.
Seriously?
Серьезно.
Ми теж коли жила на Україні.
Жили там? А чого приїхали?
Я замуж пішла.
Ну, я ще поки ні.
Круто.
They've been here before, this Russian restaurant.
So what's the story? What's going on with this Russian restaurant and the Russian house? Is there the Ukrainian flag?
Before, so I always had my flag up.
Interesting.
And since I'm American Ukrainian or Ukrainian American, and they're fresh off the boat, so you know.
It's just super interesting. We're in California, right? On the coast.
This is nothing. It was Soviet Union flag there before.
Holy shit! Really?
It got ripped by the wind. Oh, it was like almost a war there over the Soviet Union. Like some people who.
Oh, people will be pissed here. I bet Americans
well, not
like
Americans,
old.
majority the older people who migrated from USSR.
Oh.
Yes. You know, but it is what it is. It's the freedom of the speech. You know.
Yeah.
That's so true.
What do you sell it? So you have
I grow plants.
gifts.
Majority I grow plants.
Oh,
so they
succulents.
just, yeah, everything tags along.
It's cool. What's going on here?
I'm just so
today?
confused. It's almost unbelievable. Like there was the Soviet flag before, right? It was like the Soviet house.
Yeah.
And this lady had this shop from Ukraine with the Ukrainian flag there for quite a while, and then they built the Russian house here and just put their Russian flag.
Here's another twist. She owns this and she rents to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. Maybe it's marketing, you know, like smart marketing. Sort of to see the conflict here, you know, it's like something interesting. Maybe that's why.
Interesting story. There's got to be a story, a big story we don't know about.
Yeah.
Doing a time lapse of this plant I don't know the name of. I gotta get it. That I absolutely love. stretched, extended, ready to hit that record button. So when I lived here, I'd ride my bike almost every day over this bridge, up that hillside, and back into the city. And that's the coolest thing about this city, San Francisco, is the fusion of urban and nature. And so you can just rip out super easy and get into beautiful nature living in the city. It's what I miss the most, by far, living here. I don't miss the prices, that's for sure. So they also have a painting crew on this bridge all the time. So they paint from one side to the other. And when they get to that other side, I forget, years later, they start back at the beginning. And it's a continuous process of painting this bridge. There are also a lot of suicides. A lot of people jump off this bridge and kill themselves, and that's not reported. Because suicides are not reported in the US. I don't know if that applies to other places. Because there's that groupthink effect that happens, and you know, some people get inspired by suicide. You're asking me, is Kyiv, Ukraine better than San Francisco?
Yeah.
In natural beauty, hell no. Obviously not. Not even comparison. Nature, no way. But as far as like a nice city to walk around in the center and the parks where everyone just sort of hangs, I'd say Kiev's better. Amazing, huh?
Yes.
These cargo ships out here are, most of them going to China. And you constantly see this bay. You know, there's a ship coming and going under the bridge. So for those that are much younger or don't know their geopolitics, the US and the Soviet Union, huge rivals. And so along the shores of California are these missile launch pads. And most of them are decommissioned. I'm sure there are plenty that are here still functioning. We just don't see them. But here's an example we're gonna go up to here of one of these places where, well, if the Soviets came, here was a way to protect the shores of the US. Crazy to think that stuff wasn't that long ago.
This is dope. Wow.
These pelicans. So there it is, the Golden Gate, and then this military site. And now we have skateboarders, which is way cooler than guns and missiles. Nana wants some pictures guaranteed. I have to get on this picture program. The iconic Golden Gate at sunset shot is gonna happen right now. Hell yeah. Ah, you spilled it at the end.
I spilled so much.
Ah,
What were you saying?
so beautiful.
Pelicans and the sound of the foghorn. Hear that sound? That's because it gets super foggy. These boats come in, they need to know where the rocks are. This is
Did you
mega
believe it
money
there?
here. Mega money. Jack Dorsey of Twitter. most beautiful park in the city, in my opinion. It's got a little bit of everything.
He was the one who lobbied to get the streets of the park closed on Sunday.
Anti-war movement started here. Whatever goes type of vibe.
Not something that I expected.